Hey everyone, I'm Genevieve and welcome to this beginner total body yoga class. This is where we will learn the basics. So if you are brand new to yoga, if you've never done yoga before, if you're still building your confidence with the poses and getting to learn the jive of them and what they are and what they feel like in your body, then this is a great class for you. We will move through some of the most foundational poses that you will see in any yoga class that you step into, whether it's in your living room doing an online video, or if you're stepping into a studio by yourself or with a friend. So just take notice of what the poses feel like in your body and just know that they're meant to be repeated over and over and over. You will not perfect them. There is no perfection in yoga, and yoga is different for every body, but it's accessible for every body. So just keep that in mind as you move through today's class. Come to find a comfortable seated position. And if you're really uncomfortable sitting cross-legged on the floor, I encourage you to elevate your bum up onto a pillow or a bolster. Use couch cushions, use whatever you have in your house. You don't have to go buy fancy equipment. Ideally, you want the level of the knees below the level of the hips to really open up through those hip flexors and inner groins. So once you've found your comfortable seated position, then place your hands on your knees. Find a tall spine. So we're really trying to lengthen out through the side bodies as well as into the low back. So no scooping down in the low back. A lot of talk in yoga is about lengthening the spine. We're really trying to find that natural traction and find those little spaces in between the vertebrae. So imagine that as you move through your yoga classes. Hands to knees, close the eyes. And just imagine a golden rod extending from the base of the pelvis all the way up through the crown of the head. And this golden rod is shining a deep light within you, bringing forth your purpose and wisdom and power that you have within you all the time. Then take a deep breath in, trying to expand all sides of the lungs and the rib cage, trying to breathe in between each little intercostal muscle. It can get really tight in those areas. Then exhale, slowly release the breath, but keep the length in the spine. One more deep breath in. And out. And just notice how it feels to breathe. Maybe you're breathing for the first time ever with purpose. And gently open your eyes up, trying to keep that smooth, steady breath as we move through the poses. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Interlace the hands and push them up towards the sky. Find length in the spine, draw the low ribs in, and then exhale, release the hands down by your side. Good, inhale, sweep up. Maybe look up at the hands as they touch, palms touch. And exhale, hands come down by your side. Keep the length in the spine. Inhale, sweep up one more time. Low belly draws a little bit in. Exhale, down. Good. Bring your left hand to your right knee and your right fingertips behind you for a gentle, gentle twist. Still warming up here. Inhale, find length in the spine. Then exhale, open up through the shoulders as you gently turn your neck, gazing over your right shoulder. Inhale, forward. And exhale, other side. Right hand to your left knee, left fingertips behind you. Inhale to find length, and then exhale, turn. Deep breath in. Deep breath out, don't collapse. Control the breath. Inhale, forward, and exhale, release. Bring your hands to your knees again, and inhale, pull the heart forward, tilt the chin up. Try to find an arc in the upper back here. And then exhale, scoop the belly round the back. So this is a version of cat and cow. And cat and cow is, you may be familiar with it from other stretches. It's a very common yoga movement where we're flexing and extending the spine. Forward and exhale. This is just a variation of it. Good, inhale to find neutral. Now that we've kind of warmed up the spine in all the different directions, let's come to meet on our hands and our knees here. So we're on hands and knees. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and then walk your feet back so that your legs are on the ground. Shoulders over elbows here, and the hands are shoulder distance apart. Drive all 10 toes down into the ground. Have a little look back and make sure that your legs are straight extensions from your hips, so you're not tilted off to one side. Then inhale, push into the ground, pull the heart forward, drag the toenails into the ground. Try to engage through the legs here so they're active. The legs are not lazy here, they're working, and you'll feel your quadriceps engage when your knees start to lift away from the floor. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. Pull the heart forward. Good, then come all the way down onto your belly. Bring your hands beside your rib cage and have a look. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders. Draw the elbows in. Forehead down. Inhale, bring the shoulder heads away from the floor as you peel the upper body off the floor. Maybe it's only a few inches, that's fine. Squeeze the elbows together, and then exhale, release your head back down to the floor. Inhale, peel the body back up, maybe coming up a little micro inch higher, and exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, up. Last one, and exhale down. Good, and then push into your hands and your knees and draw yourself back into a child's pose here. So in child's pose, the big toes are together and the knees are apart. And this is a resting pose. The Sanskrit word for child's pose is balasana. So you might hear that term thrown around. Let your forehead come to the ground. If this is uncomfortable for you, just take a pillow or a cushion and elevate your body up. So some people find it hard to breathe in child's pose. If you're working with a lot of extra weight, sometimes it can feel really heavy on the lungs. So just elevate yourself up a bit. You want this pose to be relaxing and comfortable for you. Hips draw towards the heels. And if your hips don't come towards the heels, that's okay. Just elevate with a pillow, bridge that gap with a pillow so that you're sitting on something. And then walk the hands forward all the way to the front of the mat. Crawl yourself forward. And place your hands shoulder distance apart. Spread the fingers wide. So we want to have a rooted foundation in through those hands because they're going to work like feet when we come into our downward dog. So fingers are spread and wrists are pointing forward towards the front of the mat. Then push weight down into the space between the thumb and the index finger, kind of that meaty spot. Grip the floor with your fingertips here and try to flatten the palms. If you have wrist issues, you can slightly turn the hands out so that the pointer fingers are pointing forward rather than the middle fingers. Then step your feet back into a plank position here. Holding here for just a moment, shoulders are over top of the wrists. So if shoulders are gliding forward past the wrists, back up your feet. So this is your length for downward dog. All you do is keep your hips and feet where they are and you extend back. Feel the upper arm bones drawing in towards the side of the face. The hips lift. Heels are behind the second and third toes. Draw the low ribs in. Push into the hands. Good. Then slowly start to walk the feet all the way up to the hands. Couple little steps. Take a walk. Feet can be hip distance apart and just let the body fold over. This is called Uttanasana, forward fold. Some practices teach big toe knuckles together, heels a couple inches apart. So you can play with the stance here, depending on what feels good in your body. Legs are engaged. And to just remind the upper back to relax, you can swing the body side to side, let the head go with it. Good, then inhale, look up and lengthen, bring your hands to your shins, move the weight farther forward than you might think. It might feel like you're falling on your face here. Shoulders pull back. And exhale, fold into it one more time. Good, then bend through both knees, step back with your right foot and drop the right knee. Inhale for a low lunge, sweep the arms up, pull the hips back here. You can pad up that knee if you need to. Inhale. And exhale, fold down. Good. Now spin that back foot so that the outer edge of the foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. Your front knee is over top of your ankle, and just windmill your arms up. This is called Virabhadrasana 2 or Virabhadrasana B or Warrior 2. So here we have our ankle or our knee over top of our ankle, and this outer straight thigh is rotating open. So external rotation, drive weight into that back foot. Arms are straight and dynamic, and you gaze over the front fingertips. Now keep the bottom part of the body where it is. Glide the body past the knee, and then take your elbow and place it on your knee. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Parshva Konasana, side angle pose. Keep the low belly drawing in. Breathe. And exhale, windmill those hands down. Step back into your plank position and lift the hips up, downward dog. Find your foundation. Hands shoulder distance, feet hip distance. And the heels may not touch the ground. That's totally fine. That's not the point of the pose. Good. Then I want you to take another little walk all the way up to the front of the mat. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Then bend through both knees, step the left leg back. Drop the left knee, and feet are about hip distance apart here. Pull the body back so that front knee is over top of the ankle. Sweep the arms up. Maybe look up at the hands, they're shoulder distance apart to start. And then exhale, fold. Spin that back heel down. And here you want heel to arch alignment. So front heel, if you drew a line down the mat, would intercept the middle of the back arch. Okay, inhale, windmill the arms up, coming into Warrior 2. Gaze over the front fingertips. The inner groins are spreading wide, and there's lots of engagement in through the legs. Zip up the low belly. And again, find that length in the low spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, glide the body past the front knee. Elbow comes to the knee. Sweep the left arm up. Find your breath. Deep, smooth breath in like we did at the beginning of class. And then exhale, look down at the front knee. Windmill the arms down. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot. Lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Make sure you have not lost your length in your downward dog. If you're not sure, glide forward into plank. If your shoulders are going past the wrists here, then back up your feet. And then just pike the hips up, lifting them up. And if you're really tight in the low back, you can feel free to bend the knees and then work at lengthening through the low back. You can slowly start to straighten the legs, which you can. But if you're really round in the low back, keep a bend in the knees. One more breath in. This is a lot of effort and work here. And exhale, come down onto your knees. Good. Roll over onto your back. And come all the way down. Good. Cross your right ankle over top of the left knee and then draw the left knee in towards the body. Here you can hold around the back of the hamstring or interlace your hands around the front of the left shin. You can also use a strap here to help. If you can't interlace your hands yet, then use a strap just to extend the arms out a bit. Both feet are flexed. This is called supine pigeon pose or figure 4. Really common pose in yoga as well as in exercise and training regimes. So this one might be familiar to you. And if not, just take notice of how great it feels, even if it feels super tight right now. We're getting into all that good stuff. Good, let that left leg come down and let's switch sides. Left ankle crosses over right thigh. And the more you draw that left knee away from you, the more you'll feel that in your glute. Both feet are flexed. Feel the tailbone drawing down towards the front of the mat. So you're not lifted, trying to extend. If you're feeling sensation, just breathe into it. Send your breath there. And exhale, slowly release. Just take your legs wide, your feet are as wide as your mat, and just let the legs fall over to the side, over to the right. So you're on the knife edges of your feet. Inhale back up and exhale over to the left. So this is just a nice little release for the low back. Nice little gentle, gentle twist. Twists are very healthy and neutralizing for the spine. As long as you're using your breath and not feeling excruciating pain. Stretching and mild discomfort is okay, but if you're feeling tweakiness or a feeling that something isn't right, then it probably isn't. So just back out. Good. And then we end class with extending our legs out and drawing the shoulder blades underneath your back, letting the toes fall open, heels fall in, making sure you're on your mat and that you're one straight line. And then the palms face up. And this is Shavasana, corpse pose. So this is where we let the practice go. And it's said in yoga that Shavasana is the most important pose in the whole sequence. And that's because this is where the body will assimilate all the hard efforts that you've done through your physical practice. It will assimilate it on a very deep cellular level, and this is where the real benefits of yoga come into play. So we try and sync the body, relaxing every morsel of our being. We leave the breath on its own, and we lay still and quiet. And ideally, you want to lay here for a few minutes. And the longer your practice is, the longer your Shavasana should be. So you can stay here as long as you'd like. Or gently begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Slowly start to deepen the breath, taking a deep inhale in. And a deep exhale out. Good, then gently rock over onto your side. You decide left or right. Just relax in fetal position. Keep your eyes closed and relax your head on your bicep. So we move slowly out of Shavasana to try and limit the fluctuations in the energy. Usually by this point in class, you feel a bit more calm and even and balanced. So we want to keep that energy as you push up into a seated position, coming into where we started at the beginning of class. So either sitting on your cushion or on the floor, feel the sit bones rooted into the earth, into your mat or your carpet, whatever you're sitting on. And just take notice of how the body feels. Do you feel any more open, less stiff, less painful in any parts of the body? And then oftentimes you'll see practice closed with hands at heart center. And there's a mantra that the divine in me meets the divine in you. We are all one within the universe. We're all a universal vibration. And we close practice with that translation as namaste. Hands come to forehead, bow down. And this is a gratitude that we give to our teachers and each other for the practice that's been passed down to us and the practice that we honor today. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed that class and it gave you a little bit of insight. Come back to this class as often as you'd like to really start to feel what these foundational poses feel like. There are many more foundational poses in yoga, and you'll come across new poses all the time. But if you can really solidify your foundation, then that will help catapult your practice much, much quicker than you would just by doing random poses and trying to contort yourself into positions that maybe you're not quite ready for. Work on your foundation. It's like building a house. If you have a strong foundation, you have a strong practice. Until next time, happy practicing. Drop me a line below. Let me know what you thought of this. And I'll see you next time. Bye.